control grid's an interesting thing. A lot of people don't realise what they're involved in. Just the simple fact of using credit cards, using smartphones and all of this automated system is the problem. People don't realise what it is. This system we're being led into is the New World Order in itself. The 5G smart grid is the New World Order, the Internet of Things. It's the New World Order.
I want you to discover yourself. I need you to discover yourself because it's the only way I can become free. And I can't become free until everybody's free because we're all in this together. And that's really what it's about. And I have no stake in the outcome of anything that I say or do. And even if I get stuff wrong on this show sometimes, well, that's okay. That's called growth. That's called learning. We all make mistakes, folks. That's what learning is all about. If you didn't make any mistakes, then you'd never know anything. You'd never learn anything. There's people who don't think they're capable of making mistakes that are the problem. Because these people have these boxed visions, boxed views of reality, these boxed views of themselves whereby they can do no wrong. And they just fail to learn. And very often they're just not open to new information. So you've got to make mistakes, folks. You've got to stumble your way through this life in order to find the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's there. It is there. Don't think it's not, because it is. One way to see the light is to fully comprehend what's actually going on here. I mean, as I've said so many times, folks, the human race is under attack. We're under attack. We're being genetically altered. We're being all merged into one race of Goyim. And everybody's culture is being undermined. It doesn't matter where you're from, your culture is being undermined. And there's a lot of talk out there at the moment that there's a huge attempt underway to destroy the Christian faith across Western countries. And people don't understand it's destroying all faiths. There's also a huge effort underway to destroy the Islamic faith, just as much as the Christian faith is being destroyed. Both of them are being destroyed. They're both being played off against each other, when really, when you look at the roots of both religions, they both appear to be different chapters of the same book. They really do. And there'll be people out there'll be Christians who take huge offence to that. And there'll be Muslims out there who take huge offence to that because they just want to hate the other guys for some reason. And really, that's not what the root of both these religions is about. They're both being played off against each other, and they're both being destroyed as much as the other. There is no segregation between the two in relation to how much each faith is being destroyed. You've really got to step back and look at it. And when you look at the fact that the white races are being destroyed, it isn't just the white races, all the races are being destroyed. They're all being merged together. And all of this transgenderism and all the stuff that goes with that, I mean, this prevents races from breeding, and ultimately it all leads to depopulation and merging what's left into one worker class.
Something else that I want to say is that trust your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
When I've said face infinity without flinching, when you look at the whole concept of the predator mind, like the archons that David talks about, that Castaneda talks about, the predator mind, that thing which, the Wetiko virus, whatever it is, things that make us do things that we know are bad, but we do them anyway. And when you're going down a rabbit hole looking for information, and you get all this confirmation of what you're searching for, what you believe, the only reason you're going down that rabbit hole looking for that is because you don't believe in yourself. And you should believe in yourself. And if you can, when you find all this confirmation, if you can just observe that and not have that big aha moment, then you can deny the predator of its food, and you can realize that what you're searching for is all inside you anyway. You already know all this stuff. The only reason you're even looking for external confirmation is because you don't believe in yourself. And as soon as you start believing in yourself and realize that you already know this stuff, then you free yourself, and then you can have the most incredible feats of enlightenment. The most incredible downloads of information can come to you simply because you stop looking externally for stuff which you already know, but you just never believed in yourself enough to accept that. I think that's important. A lot of people don't realise what they're involved in. Just the simple fact of using credit cards, using smartphones and all of this automated system is the problem. People don't realise what it is. This system we're being led into is the New World Order in itself. The 5G smart grid is the New World Order, the Internet of Things. It's the New World Order. People don't really understand how that works, but what it's about is monitoring every single aspect of your life. The smart grid is being presented to people as this thing that's going to be highly beneficial to us. You'll only be using the electricity that you use, you'll only be paying for that, all this sort of stuff. So it's been presented as a really positive thing. But what it will do, it will put a dollar value on absolutely every aspect of your life. So that every time you turn on a tap, your credit goes, every time you turn on a light, every time you watch your TV, every time you boil your jug, every time you do anything, there's a dollar value attached to it. There's an interesting TV show that came out a couple of years ago called Black Mirror, and they had one episode of that where everybody, the only job they had was running on a treadmill or spinning a bike and just to accumulate credits, and they had to pay for every single action that they performed. And that's what the smart grid is. That's what we're being led into.
And it's happening right around the world, folks. Nobody is safe from it. No faith is being singled out. No race is being singled out. It's happening right across the board to everybody. You know, the root of the whole problem is that everybody is being played off against each other. Everybody has been trained to believe that the people from the other faith or the other race or the other colour or the other creed are all the enemy, when really it's the system itself and those who are sitting at the top puppeteering the whole thing and pulling the strings on everybody else's belief systems. That's what's going on, folks. You know, the world is at war. There's a war being waged against the people of the earth by those who are masquerading as governments in all of our countries, and they're all working together to do it. That's what people need to take into account. Once you take that into account, then yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But until people see that, and while people refuse to see that and refuse to admit it, and while they keep allowing themselves to be played off against everybody else, then we're never going to get anywhere.
And if you're someone who lives a slightly alternate lifestyle, say you grow a few vegetables and you give some to your neighbours, or you do a little bit of massage for someone, or you do a bit of tarot reading or something like this, the only way you're going to be able to get paid for that once the smart grid comes online is through the transfer of digital credits, which means the government will get a tax. You'll have to put it on your income tax, or everything will be monitored. That's what it's about, complete blanket surveillance of every single action people are doing. That's what the smart grid is. And it's being rolled out underneath everything else while we're arguing about all of these issues and being given all of these global conflicts and all of this theatre of politics to fight and squabble about. Underneath all of that is this smart grid. And it's rolling out very, very quickly. And the smart grid, the 5G grid, underlying that is the fact that the 5G system that they're using to run the smart grid, the Internet of Things, is also being used by the military. It's a military-grade technology. It's basically an active denial system. So the 5G grid not only will track everything you do, it can be used as a weapon. It can be used as a microwave cannon. It can be used to disable people, to track people. It can see through walls. It can see what you're carrying, whether you're carrying money, whether you're carrying a weapon, all of this sort of stuff. So it's very, very evasive. Plus it does all sorts of damage to us biologically. You know, it damages our cell structure, damages the cell structure of all food, changes the cell structure of everything that it comes into contact with. And the 5G system will be a blanket system, blanket wave of communication. You know, we've got situations now where you lose signal on your mobile phone if you move too far away from a tower. That won't happen with the 5G. It will be everywhere, right across the country, in rural areas, everywhere you'll be able to get perfect signal. So everyone's going to kind of welcome this, but they don't realize what it is. It's about everything talking to everything else and everything tracking everything else.